The holiday season was coming, and the engines were being prepared for work today, as it had snowed last night. Sir Topham Hatt showed up along with a truck of snowplows. There are a limited quantity of snowplows this year, as other engines had to use them. There was one blue, one red, and one green. Gordon volunteered to have one so he can pull his express train. But the snowplow couldn't fit properly, so he had to stay in the sheds. Toby volunteered because he doesn't need a snowplow due to him having cow catchers and side plates. Thomas, James, and Henry volunteered. Perfect, says the Topham Hatt. You engines will do your work. James will do Gordon's Express, Henry will collect the Flying Kipper, Toby will do Percy's mail and goods train run, Thomas will pull Henrietta, Annie, and Clarabelle to collect passengers as well. Gordon, Percy, and Rebecca stayed at the sheds as the others went to work. Good luck out there! As Thomas went to get his coaches at Farquaad, he saw a Christmas tree decorated with colorful lights and beautiful decorations at the sheds. I bet I would celebrate Christmas here at the sheds with Percy and Toby, Thomas guessed. As Thomas got his passengers, he set off to take them station by station down the Farquaad branch line. When Henry arrived at the docks, they were packed with cargo and wagons. This is the holiday rush hour, Salty said. Some of the ships were delayed due to the severe weather. Henry was buffered up to the Flying Kipper and went on their way. James was running smoothly with the express to Fakerstown. There were limited delays, but he didn't mind. Toby had the same problem as Henry, but was more complex. The manager stepped outside of the building, just as Toby arrived. The rails are very icy, and there is a blizzard on the way. Do you think you can handle this with that many wagons? Yes, I can, Toby determined. They noticed there was no brake van attached to the train. Then Toby had an idea. Can the conductor ride in the mail car? Toby asked. Your mail car has no brakes. It's not safe to go off without a brake van. My driver has a spare shovel, so if the conductor wants to stop, he can put the shovel on the wheel to slow down. If you're safe enough, that is. The conductor rode in it with a spare shovel for braking. Toby approached Gordon's Hill on the main line. The rails were slippery, making it difficult to climb. As he was halfway up the hill, his wheels started to slip. Toby didn't have sandboxes to make his wheels grip the rails. Then Toby started to decline, slipping down the hill. I'm slipping, Toby wailed. The conductor used the shovel to grab the wheel to brake. But it slowed the train just a little bit. Then Henry was approaching. We're gonna crash, cried the conductor. Brake as hard as you could. They tried the best they could, but then Henry stopped the train. I've got you, Henry puffed. Having trouble over Gordon's Hill? Henry decided to help Toby up Gordon's Hill and pull the Flying Kipper at the same time. I've learned this technique before when it helped two diesels. They came across Gordon's Hill again. Henry's wheels slipped, but has his sandboxes to grip the rails. When Toby reached the peak of Gordon's Hill, his wheels gripped the rails again. But when going downhill, the conductor hastily coupled the mail car up to Henry's lamp iron, because his snowplow concealed the coupling, in order to slow the train downhill and through the curve. They made it at last. Toby stopped to deliver half the mail and goods at Croven's gate, while Henry continued to Fickerstown, where he met James. "The express was easy as pie," James smiled. Toby finished his journey with bringing the remainders of his goods and mail. Happy holidays! Thomas had stopped at Hackenback, where the bridge was fixed, Elsbridge, and finally at Knapford. Toby, Henry, and James arrived at Knapford, greeting Thomas. "How was your journeys?" The three explained their journeys to Thomas. When they went to Timoth, the sheds were decorated with Christmas lights. But there was one thing missing: the Christmas tree. "We forgot to get the Christmas tree," gloomed Percy. Then Thomas had an idea. "There's a Christmas tree at Farquaad Sheds. Maybe I can bring it here." "If you ask," Henry sneered. Thomas went on one more journey to get the Christmas tree. He asked, and they had a spare tree for them to use. Thomas went back to Timoth Sheds. The engines were singing Christmas carols and songs. "Happy holidays, Thomas!" the engines cheered. Thomas has never felt so happy around the holiday season.